Welcome everybody to another day of the StarCastTV Star League. This time we've got Royal facing off versus Beast. Let's look at our bracket. We of course had Hero dominate movie. Absolute destruction as expected. Hero's just the beast mode, man. I think he's actually gotten a pretty bad bracket though, because there's only Terrans most likely remaining unless Beast can make an upset here. Let's look at the map picks. I really do think it comes down to build orders more than map picks. Deja Vu, Dominator, Pantheon. I think these are all really good for Terran, I ain't gonna lie. I think Dominator is a better version of Gladiator. One of the hardest parts about Gladiator was getting your third base. But with that being easily accessible, even the fourth base being easily accessible, I just feel like Terran's way favored here. Of course, I mentioned it has to do with build orders. Royal can be very volatile, plays very flimsy build orders, whereas Beast all-ins quite often. So I think there is a chance that Beast can win, but he really needs to catch Royal off guard. Let's get into game one. It's going to be Deja Vu. Okay, in the top right, we do have our Zerg. It's Beast. And in the bottom right, we do have Royal. I've talked about this a lot, how Royal does kind of some weird builds sometimes. Honestly, there's a lot of games that I watch and I'm like, is this my own replay? Like, this build order looks like mine. Obviously, it's executed way better. But sometimes I'm just sitting there like, I don't know if this can actually work versus a pro. But obviously Royal, he knows what he's doing. But when he does lose, oftentimes when he plays something extremely tech heavy, 2 racks tech, 1 racks tech, has low unit count, and he's playing for mid game. Versus someone like Beast, you're not really playing for mid game versus him. You're playing for early game. So I hope that he does something standard like a 3 racks or a 4 racks. As far as Beast goes, what was it, season 1? He was doing a lot of mind games, you know, sending drones to the natural to act like he's powering, but he's actually going all in. You know, tricky moves like this, but I feel like he kind of did it too many times. I hope to not see it here. I hope he's got something different planned other than, you know, just 2 hatchling Muta all in, or 2 hatchling Muta third base, and then all in Mutas. You know, I've got Royal with the wall in, as expected. I know he loves the wall, just like me. He's been to the school of Nyoken, that's for sure. He's graduated. And he's going to send out that SCV. Now, what direction will it go? It should go bottom left, honestly. Yeah, there it goes. So he's going to probably find Beast last, which is a little bit unlucky. But fortunately for him, it is a hatch first build from Beast, so he doesn't really have to worry about any link pressure. And Beast is going to be the 2-minute pool. 2-minute, of course it is. Is it anything else with this guy? It's just always the low eco build. Doesn't sneak in an additional drone. Doesn't do anything abnormal. All right, well, now this is interesting. A second SCV? Okay, if it's for a depot. All right, I thought that this second SCV was going to be sent out, and the first one was going to go and build a command center. The one building the racks, I mean. Uh-oh. Looks like he'll just barely get away. For now, of course. And that's going to be nice. He's going to see that, hey, there's no links coming. There's a hatch here. Probably will cancel like a Marine. I expect his money to shoot up in a second with a cancel. Or not. We saw someone rally Marines to, I think it was Shine. I think it was Shart versus Shine just rallied 3 Marines and built the bunker. And it did a lot of damage like every single game. And Deja Vu has, you know, decent rush distances. Is this drone actually going to die? I think it is. Wow, see ya. So already losing a drone, not the greatest. And there we go. There's the second racks for Royal, but well, this makes me think it's going to be a 2 racks academy play, obviously. But then I guess the question is how fast does the factory come down? I feel like the times that I've seen Royal play 2 racks, oftentimes he plays 2 racks tech, like 5-minute factory. And these are the types of builds that are very vulnerable to players like Beast. So I hope that this 2 racks turns into a 4 racks just because I think that Royal could get picked apart. There's the Academy. And the gas is already done. So, like, this is an extremely fast gas for the Academy timing, which makes me think he's going tech already. Now, how many lings does Beast want to build? That's already up to 8. 8 seems higher than I was expecting. Fire, okay, so other than it being 8 lings, I guess everything so far looks pretty normal. That wall always looks very weird to me, but I know how strong and safe it is, so I'm not too worried about Royal taking really any damage. I'm mostly concerned about where this gas is going to go, man. It just feels like it's so obvious that this is a fast second factory. There's a stem, and there's no fast eBay, so this 100, additional 150 gas that he has right now, obviously 100 of it's going to go into ComSat, but by the time stem finishes, he's going to have more than enough for range. And I think, actually, Royal needs to get ComSat because, look, that was a drone transfer down to the natural like I was talking about, and he's built more lings. So he needs to double scan here. He's expecting Terran to move out, and he's going to try and catch it. He's acting like he droned really hard when he obviously didn't. And this is just so typical Beast. Now, this is before stem. If he goes right now, yeah, can he get on top of the army? Oh, that's a great round. Takes down everything. He's like everything, man. Why? Why did Royal do this? I just don't get it. You're playing Beast. You know he does this, like, at least 50% of the time. He's going to lose his whole army. At least it wasn't a fast factory. I am thankful for that. He's gone into eBay third rack, so because it's eBay third racks, I feel a lot better about this, but he built 3 fire bats also in response. Alright, he is going to clean this up, but turrets are just now starting. Luckily for him, the Meadow count is pretty freaking low. What is it, 4? I don't think 4 even one-shot Marines, right? So I think that Royal's fine to defend this, but obviously losing the whole army is not ideal. But Zerg did spend a lot of that. What was it, like 14 Zerglings? That's quite a lot to invest in, and you can see it reflected in his lack of third hatch. Not only a lack of third hatch in the main, but also not out on the map either. Just now sending it out. And what bases do you want to take? I guess he's thinking about top middle. That depot dies. Not the biggest of deals, of course, since he lost his entire army. But I don't think Beast is actually going to get much more damage here. There's way too many turrets. As I say that, those immediately. There's more damage here. So actually, something that I learned from Blanderstrudel is that when you have SCVs to the left side of anything, or if you have anything to the left side that's so let's say you're shooting something. Anything to the left side of it is going to get target fired by the glaives, which is why you see all of the glaives bouncing towards the top left. And that's why those SCVs are getting absolutely mauled right here. So Royal does need to be careful to make sure that he loses the minimum amount of SCVs, because otherwise he might be, turned into an all-in pretty quickly. This army is tiny. I feel like Zerg can win this, can't they? Yeah, he needs to get closer to his bunker. But we do have the factory coming in. It is more mutas. I was secretly hoping that we would have like a Hydra switch after the first 5 viewers, but he doesn't do that. I'm guessing plus it can't be done. So the mutas are just going to jump on the turret, and meanwhile, Terran's going to counterattack. Are there any Sunkens? Well, they're not even started yet. I still think he's going to hold this. I think he can buy time with the link. Yeah, and he doesn't know how many mutas there actually are. It looks like he didn't scan. So, yeah, he just goes back into the main now. Now, Zerg might lose their base, but Terran's going to lose everything here. Like, he's just going to sit on top of the barracks. The Terran can't win with attack. Oh, I really wish Beast had just stayed in the main. But instead, he turns around. Of course, he does have to be fearful about losing his third base. But this Terran army is like really, really small. This can easily get killed off by Mutalisk. +1 is done for Terran. And +1 is done for Zerg also. And Zerg's gonna go back onto the move into the main. Turrets, I don't think they're done, but I mean, that's gonna die. Actually, Terran's in mega trouble. Like, this is a lot of Mutalisk. There's a decent amount of turret. Got an armory? What is it? What is that? Starport's not done. Okay, there's armory in the corner. He's gonna try and go Valkyrie. So basically, he's saying like, okay, we're in an all-in game. Both players mega all-in, low econ. I need to get multiple stage cut because this guy's just going pure Mutalisk. Starport just now finishing. Yeah, he's not even able to use it. The Marines actually turn around. Now the Muta, I was gonna say they're stuck, but they're actually not. They just get out. The majority of them end up being safe. But look at how few drones the Zerg has. What is he at? Like 15? Yeah, 16 total. Terran's also pretty low. 20 SE. That's crazy. But really, all he needs is one freaking Valkyrie, and this game will get turned on its head. Now the mutas are getting pretty low. That's 2 mutas die. You know, it's a crazy game when Terran's lifting a barrack. 19 SE. Wow, 3 Marines died in a single. He may actually kill the eBay and the barrack. Okay, there goes the eBay. Now with the eBay gone, that means there's no turrets. But I see that the starport is blinking. Valkyries will be on the way. Zerg is still mega all in. There's been no drones at all. Can he get that rack? That would leave him at only 1 more barracks. Maybe, or am I wrong? It looks like there's 1 by the starport, so I guess he still has 2 barracks, 1 at the natural and 1 in the main. But the first Valkyrie's out, and these Willis are pretty damaged. Uh-oh, I think he messed up. Oh, that was good moving shot. Oh, great moving shot, ends up saving it. Gonna lose it there, but he took so much damage on the Willis. I feel like Terran's gonna hold now. I think the mutas are actually legitimately caught, and if they die, there's gonna be nothing to deal with a potential counterattack. Here goes another muta. Yeah, another one. He has 8 mutas left. He's got a lot of gas, but he has no minerals. That's because his drone count is so low. Is he just gonna go? There's a bunker there, though. I don't think it's gonna work. And the fire rats are way too strong in the bunker. That was not it. So he takes a lot of damage for free. Royal ends up stabilizing. You know, stabilizing on 20 SCVs is crazy. I do think he's held now. Okay, now he's got 2 walks out. Now he's definitely held. There's no way to engage onto this. He's just gonna have to retreat. And Royal, he generally knows when he's in a winning position, so I expect him to be on the prowl in a second, at least try and take down the 3rd base. I don't know if he can necessarily kill the natural, but I'm pretty sure once he gets 1 more Valkyrie, 1 more round of Marine Medic, it's going to be go time. I hear scans consistently go off, so he knows that it's still just mass muta. Yeah, I was hoping he would unload his fire bats here, because I really do think that you're going to need them versus probably a lot of lings coming. And here we go, 3 Valkyries, like 2 groups of Marine Medic. Fire bats in the front. Well, Valkyries died pretty fast, but I still think that the Marines with +1 are just too strong. They barely hold, and there it is. He comes out. Royal is going to win. I did like Beast build order. He went for like a Ling Flood, but it wasn't, you know, like super all in. Like he actually had okay econ. But what really did him in was building those 4 sunkens. If he could have even had just 1 less sunken, I think that he may have had that money to start saturating the 3rd base, and then we could have actually gotten into, you know, potentially a situation where Beast could have won in the mid game. But Royal, great defense, didn't panic, and now he's up 1-0. Let's get into Dominator now. Okay, so in the top middle, we do have Beast. And in the mid right, and getting, I think, the best spawn you can get here, it's Royal. So mid right, easily wallable. We already know that Royal loves the wall based on last game. And Royal's a tricky player because of how far away you can build this wall. I don't think he necessarily has to expand behind it. He could, fake a wall or fake an expansion and go like 2 racks behind it and try and do some type of weird timing. We'll see what he comes up with. But Beast, on the other hand, I would really like to see him go like Lurker one game into somebody that's most likely going to wall. Like, Lurkers are actually really good versus walls. You don't expect it. It hits really fast. Terrans, like, when they scan like just a few seconds before the Lurkers actually come at you. And with Beast being well known to just, Ling Muta every game, I think it would be a nice switch up here. Of course, it's still an all-in, but that just fits into Beast's style, so I think it could be viable. Either way, we do have, once again, most likely going to be a 12 hatch. And is this really going to be 14 command center? This seems so risky versus Beast. But maybe Beast is a guy that even though he all-ins, he doesn't all-in like with 4 pulls and 9 pulls in types of play. But I can tell you this, Zerg needs to figure out what this is, because if he just goes for a normal build order into a 14cc, to say he's screwed is an understatement. I hope that Beast mixes in a couple of drones here, but he didn't. He's doing the same exact thing. 2-minute pool, 2-minute gas. Zerg is just going to be so far behind. Terran's going to have a massive build order advantage. It's going to be crazy. I've seen players go like 7 barracks when they should only really have 5. Like, the amount of stuff that you can produce is absolutely absurd. I'm thankful that Beast is now scouting with the drone. If he just didn't scout, I think the game could already be over. But now at least he's going to see, okay, this guy did go 14cc. I don't have to ling here. I can just drone up really hard. And there's actually gas in the main. Is this a mech play? This was a 230, 235 gas timing. It could also be eBay. I mean, with a 14cc, you can actually go something like 2-minute or 210, 215 gas. So I think this may actually just be for eBay +1. Either way, there was a little bit of luck on B side as he forces the SCV off the building and almost kills it. Oh, get under there. If he could have forced Terran to be perma lifted off, that would have been great. And I do like that the drone count to SCV count is much closer this time. So he is droning hard. He is trying to recover from the build order advantage that Terran has. And Terran went straight factory. So it's insta-tech. Okay, this is the type of build that I was talking about that we know Royal can definitely pull out. But it is very flimsy. But with it being a 14cc instead of like Rax CC, if he goes mech, this is going to line up very nicely. If he goes 1-1-1, also going to line up very nicely. And with Valkyries being, very popular for over a year now, he's got options to go Valkyrie here. He could go Vessel. He could also go like 3-port Wraith. Remember, we saw Shark go 3-port Wraith on 1 base in ASL. I think Royal could definitely pull out that play here. The fact that he's gone Academy, I don't know if he can support 3-port Wraith and Academy, even with the 14cc. Also, he's not getting his nat gas. So to me, this looks like it's probably just going to be Valkyrie. Yeah, there's the starport. And I should see the armory come down pretty soon. I guess it still could also be Vessel, but I, for some reason, don't think it's Vessel. And SC is going to confirm his third base at top middle, so that's nice. And he'll at least know where the third base is. But this is Dominator, where there's double ramps into these third bases. These are definitely vulnerable bases. Terran can easily knock them down. Yep, there's the armory. I knew it had to be Valkyrie play. Royal doesn't strike me as like a 1-1-1 Vessel type of player. He strikes me as somebody that wants to be in your face constantly. I think Valkyrie is more suited for him as opposed to, sitting there waiting for 3 tanks with X amount of vessels and then pushing and irradiating you to death. Bunker coming in, so he's just playing really safe. Worker count for Beast seems normal-ish. Obviously higher than last game, but still not like crazy. Royal on the other hand, I'm actually surprised he only is at 33 workers. I thought it might be a little bit higher, but maybe that's the maximum you can get at this point in the game. We've got mutas on the way. Turrets are starting to be built. Looks like he's got one in all the key locations, but not like an overwhelming amount. That's just barely. And he does see that the factory's already done, so he knows that this protect. Oh, does he take the sweet spot? He doesn't have the magic number. One top the SCV, so even though he's getting a couple of kills, it's taking him a while to get that done. Now the Vulcan comes in and just gives him a little going away present. It's a little bit of damage. I guarantee you, he's not going to like that present much longer once it turns into 2 or 3 gifts at a time. Thank you. It's the Hydrogen. He sees the Valkyrie, he's like, nope, Mutaling is not going to work. There are players that I do think can make Mass Muta, Scourgeling work. Players like Queen, players like Soulfleet. I think versus this particular build, with 14cc crazy eco, that would be more than risky. However, the scan immediately comes down. He sees the Hydrogen, and he'll know that, okay, I need to get prepared for lurkers. But Beast, because he is tricky, you got to be thinking, is it a mind game? Is he just showing the Hydrogen to, mass get all in me? The Valkyrie's not firing. Okay, there are Scourge mixed in there. I was wondering if there actually were and why the Valkyries weren't firing. And oh, that was a great shot. And he stays both Valkyries, and those take a lot of damage. Ain't gonna lie, this looks like if he was to go right now, this could be an unstoppable attack. What is it? 1 sunken at both? Okay, 3 sunkens there. So not unstoppable there, but the natural, pretty open. That's a lot of Marine. For this point in the game, that is quite a lot of Marines, especially with how many Valkyries he already has. Gets 3 racks behind it, 3 Valkyries. The worker count for Royal is extremely low. Like, if you told me this was a 14cc game and you told me Zerg's only killed like 3 SCVs, I would tell you there's no way this could be 14cc. It's impossible. That's how low the worker count is. Now, if these Sunkens can get up, I actually like Beast's position a decent amount, and it actually is more mutalist. So the Hydrogen, I'm not sure if it was necessarily a fake. I think he still needs to build the mutas here to not die. But so far, it does seem like we could have just mass mutas. Wow, we actually have him in there. Oh my gosh, all the Scourge evaporate from the people. Did he get one weapon on his Valkyries? Why did they get massacred? Oh, it's because he has 4. I do think you might actually have +1 though also. Like, that was a ton of damage. Okay, so an easy victory there. It's going to be 2-0 for Royal, and now a Beast on his last leg. He's really got to come up with something different. I feel like, what is this, like 3 seasons in a row, the build orders are identical every single time. It's literally always 2-minute pool, 2-minute gas. At some point, you can't play the same builder over and over again. So hopefully something different here. Please, it's Pantheon. It's a huge map. Play 3 hatch per 4 pool, maybe. Okay, and this is the dream scenario. He's got cross spawns. In the top left, we do have Beast. And in the bottom right, we do have Royal. I do know that Pantheon is a map where you do run into 8 racks, 6 racks a decent amount of the time, especially when it's Royal. So, Beast could unfortunately run into an 8 racks, but I think at this point you're down 2-0. Your main strategy, it's not working, man. Even when you got a kill onto the entire army in Deja Vu, you still didn't win. So if you can't win killing the army with just Lings, you got to do something special. Like, we got to try something unorthodox here. It can't just be a normal build order, because clearly Royal's going to be able to still win. And there's the wall once again from Royal. He loves the wall. And Beast, okay, it is an Overlord, so luckily he is not, 9-pulling or overpulling here. I would really love to see the 3-hatch, please. I don't care if the 3rd hatch is in your main, or it's at another base, or it's at the mineral only, just please, something different that can get you ahead. Royal with barracks coming down, and it is going to be the 12 hatch at the natural. I think. Yeah, there we go. Please, additional drones. Well, unfortunately, it looks like we're just going to have the exact same thing. I can get behind players thinking like, well, if I had just done XYZ better, I would have won. But it doesn't really look like in any of these games that was the case. I'm just being honest here. I really just think that Beast is not getting the damage that he's looking for with the Meadows. He's not getting the econ that he needs in the mid game to transition out of the all-in that he goes for. And Royal, actually coming into the game and seeing the wall, I actually thought he may try and do like some type of one base build with the gas, but he is just going to go into the normal command center once again. And that drone's playing with fire, man. That's a Marine. They deal a lot of damage pretty quickly too. And gas. Okay, it's a 255 gas though. This is not going to be for a factory. This is definitely an eBay timing gas. I like what Royal has done here though. In all the games he's played, like super, other than the 14cc. So I guess deja vu in this. Every game he's gone 2 depots before the command center. Like he knows that this guy can definitely build links, so there's no reason to undercut Marines. Now this SC, okay, I thought the SC might actually get that drone because I've seen Royal moving shot an SCV a few times. I don't know, like, what's funny too is it's only him that I see doing it. Every other person, like, they try it, but they don't actually get the shot. But Royal consistently can get kills with it. There's the eBay. There's the Academy. Rushing +1 and the upgrade is going to give him a really strong, like, 7-minute, 8-minute Marine move out. His +1's going to have kicked in. His stim and range are both going to be done. This is going to be an extremely strong timing. And to me, this means that it's got to be a 4 racks. It has to be. If it's a 2 racks, or a 3 racks, I would actually be shocked. If it ends up being a 3 racks, then his intention is to go fast 2-1. Like if you thought you were playing versus somebody that could be playing Crazy Zerg. I don't think I've ever seen Beast play Crazy Zerg. So for that reason, I feel like this is 100% of the time going to be a 4 racks. Now, I do like what Beast has done this time. Instead of building a lot of lings, I think he has a sunken at his natural. Okay, so finally we get a little bit of a mix-up. And that was not a sunken, that was just an overlord. But the point is he's got a 3rd base already coming. He's going to have much better econ. His ling count is extremely low. But remember, he likes the mind game. So if Royal scans the natural and sees a lot of drones, or sees a lack of drones, it doesn't mean that Beast was ling all-inning, right? Like, he could definitely have been just mind gaming. So I do like that we finally have a slight mix-up here. And hopefully he'll be able to survive this mid-game 7-8 minute attack. Because if he can, having 3 bases like this, also with it being taken at the natural, it's going to give him an easy 4th base. Now, the scan goes off. Ooh, the Spire's done. And there was not a lot of eggs used instantly. That would already trigger alarm bells to me, that this guy must have taken a really fast 3rd base. Or he spent a lot of resources on links in the beginning, and he didn't have money to build mutas. So you can see that immediately in response, there's a bunker that goes down, which is not necessarily wasted money. I think bunker is the best way to defend the depots. But he definitely thought that he may be getting ling all-in, I guess. Turret's coming up. And it was the 4 racks as I was expecting. now. Please be at least the 7 mutas so that we can kill some SCVs here. Once again, Royals sitting pretty at just 33 workers. My opinion, something like 35 is what you're looking for, because if you lose a couple, you're still going to have good econ. Once you like go below 30, it kind of gets rough, and I think for sure Beast can kill at least 3 SCVs. But Terran's going to have that power spike in just a second, like I talked about. I hope that Zerg pounces on this army. Okay, he's forcing out stims. That's good. There we go. 2 gone, 3 gone. He may have gone out before range. Yeah, I think he went out slightly before range. So actually, he's taken a good chunk of losses there. You know, losing 3 Marines out of just 10 is, you know, a considerable amount. And the worker count, I actually like it quite a bit for a Beast. 26. Ooh, Insta Hydrant and Insta Queen's Nest. This could be a rushed Defiler. Scan goes down again, and he sees more mutas being built. Ooh, SCV somehow snuck out and will find this base, and this is critical that he finds this base. Not only because now he knows, okay, this guy's got a 3rd base that's been mining a while, but also all the tech's there. The Queen's Nest and the Hydrant are there. Terran is on the move. And I am now 100% confident these Marines have their upgrades. It is 12 Mutalisks, though. I don't 12 Mutalisks beat... Oh, I was just about to say, this doesn't 12 Mutalisks beat one group, but one other group is going towards top middle. Uh-oh. Okay, he needs to get this army. He's got it. He's got to catch one of the armies out of position. This army's so tiny, you got to kill it, man. And look at this. Royal's just stimming across the map. He knows, like, okay, if you're over here, you can't possibly be on the other side, right? So you just stim for it. And Beast is probably going to lose that. That Overlord buys time, which is good. But this natural, it's got to be gone, right? It's +1. These are Marines. They hit hella hard. Yep, that got mowed down. At the same time, look at Royal. He instantly sends 5 more Marines towards top right. There's no Sunken over there. Oh my gosh, there's no link. I don't even know if the mutas can win that. We just GG'd. She didn't even try to micro. I like, even though he got torn apart this game, I like this build order a lot better. I wish he had, like, even just 1 Sunken. But either way, Royal, he played fantastic. He played pretty much as I expected. He did have his clever builds, especially on Dominator. But then a really solid Game 3. Looked really strong. And I guess that's it, actually. You know, we can take a look at the bracket now. I think we'll go into the bracket. Yeah, so this sets us up for Hero versus Royal. Was it Hero versus Rush or Hero versus Royal in ASL? I think it was Rush, but either way, this is a star-studded top side of the bracket. JYJ versus Barracks. You know, it would have been nice to have Snow there simply because he's a god in PvT, but Barracks deserved to win. Beating Snow is crazy. And then Hero versus Royal, even though I think Hero's weakest matchup is Zerg versus Terran, I actually think Royal's weakest matchup is Terran versus Zerg. Like, when I think of Royal, I think of, like, really solid timings in Terran versus Terran, really solid timings in Terran versus Protoss, but as I've stated, he can be vulnerable sometimes in Terran versus Zerg, so that's going to be an interesting one. And that also rounds out our top 4. Like, looking at the top side, legitimately, I could see everybody making it to the round of 4, also getting all the way to the finals. I think Barracks is kind of the underdog, but he's got really strong matchups, and he's been doing really well lately, so I'm looking forward to the top side. But with that said, we are done today, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next week with Sock versus Sins.